The DC Universe is finally here. Well, okay, technically it's been here since 1938, but I'm talking about the DC Universe streaming service, the #1 place for fans of DC Comics, at least according to their Twitter page. The service officially launched on Saturday, September 15th, so I decided to spend most of my weekend putting it through its paces and to see whether or not it truly is the best place for you to get your DC fix, or if you should look elsewhere. So, DC Universe is an online streaming platform created by DC Entertainment. Its sole purpose is to be a one-stop shop for movies, television shows, comics, and more for fans of DC characters. It's $7.99 a month or $74.99 a year, which is honestly fairly well priced for a specialized streaming service like this, compared to other specialty streaming services like the WWE Network, which is $9.99 a month, and I should really think about canceling because I haven't watched it in like months. Like, I'm filming this while Hell in the Cell is going on. That's how much I care. At the time of this recording, the service is available on iOS devices, Android devices, Roku devices, and Apple TV, and desktop and mobile web browsers. Now that's a fair amount of devices. You should have at least one of those in your house already, especially if you're watching this video right now. I have one minor hiccup in that my primary set-top boxes are either my PlayStation or my Xbox, and currently there's no DC Universe app for either device. Also, at the time of this recording, Amazon devices aren't supported. They're supposed to be, but they're not. Now, I do have plenty of devices that can run the DC Universe app, and for the most part, all the footage of it that you're gonna see in this video is from my laptop anyway. But I just felt that was important to share with you guys in case you don't have an iOS or Android or Roku device. Also, to be honest, I'm a little bit bitter because I currently have no way of watching DC Universe on my big ass TV. All this may change in the future, of course, and if they're smart, they'll start rolling it out to other devices ASAP. But for now, if you really want to watch this stuff on a TV, your best bet is to get a Roku stick. They're pretty cheap. I'll put a link in the description for one if you want to get one yourself. So, you go to DCUniverse.com, you create an account, you log in, and you want to start browsing. What can you actually see as soon as you log in? Well, quite a bit actually. The service does have a decent amount of stuff right out of the gate for you to watch. That is, once you get past the fairly bad UI. It's not terrible, but it's not organized very well. Things aren't necessarily in alphabetical order. Animated films are mixed in with the live action films, which can get really confusing. And for some reason, whenever I click on see more, it doesn't let me see more. But once you get past the UI, you will get all 4 Christopher Reeve Superman films, all 4 90s Batman movies, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, 23 of the DC animated movies like Under the Red Hood, Justice League Doom, Justice League vs. Teen Titans, hell, even Batman Ninja and the Death of Superman. Those movies just came out. You get classic TV shows like Lois and Clark, the George Reeves Superman show, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman series, fully remastered in HD. Also, not so classic TV shows like Human Target, and that Birds of Prey show where Huntress wears a long black trench coat. Plus all the animated shows you actually want to see. Every episode of Teen Titans, Young Justice, The Brave and the Bold, even Super Friends is on here. And of course, Batman the Animated Series in full HD, Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. You will also find those DC Nation shorts that were really popular a couple of years ago. It even has one-off TV specials, like The Science of Superman, The Psychology of Batman, and the 1987 made-for-TV Spirit movie, which is very bizarre because the Spirit isn't actually a DC character. In fact, his comics are currently being published by Dynamite, and you know what? It's not important. So it does have a lot of good stuff on there. Videos play well with little to no buffering. All the HD content looks very good. Hell, even the SD content looks pretty good. And they did a great job remastering Batman the Animated Series and the Wonder Woman TV show. Both series look incredible. I don't know if I can go back to watching my DVDs of Batman Animated, to be honest with you, after this. While DC Universe does have a lot, it doesn't have everything. It has the first 2 Christopher Nolan Batman movies, but not The Dark Knight Rises. It doesn't have Superman Returns, it doesn't have Supergirl, it doesn't have anything from the current DC movie universe on there. The Adam West Batman show isn't there, Smallville isn't there, hell, none of the CW DC shows are on there. And neither is The New Adventures of Batman. Every other Bruce Timm produced DC cartoon is on the service, but not The New Adventures of Batman. To me, that's a pretty big omission. Watchmen isn't on there, but the Tales of the Black Freighter short is. I get not wanting to put the newer stuff on DC Universe, and I'm sure a lot more is coming, but I feel like there's still a lot missing that should have been there from day one. I mean, Warner Brothers owns most, if not all, of this stuff already. Also, all of the 90s Batman movies are only available until September 30th. I don't care if that's just a promotion for Batman Day, that's a pretty thing to do. But that's just the video content. This thing's got comics on it too. Now, a lot of the problems I have with the video content, I have with the comics content. The UI isn't great, stuff isn't organized very well, and the collection is pretty spotty. There's some things missing there. Also, there's this weird disclaimer that says the full library of DC Comics will be available in October for an additional fee. So does that mean that some comics sit outside the $7.99 a month? Is this app going to be filled with microtransactions now? Anyway, what is on there isn't too bad. It's got a good selection of Golden and Silver Age comics, a decent selection of modern comics, not a whole lot of complete runs, but a lot of stuff to get you started and interested in reading comics, hopefully, when they fill out the catalog. Reading comics works similar to how it's done on Comixology. You can view them in either full page or panel by panel. It even has an autoplay feature, so you can throw your comics up on your TV and watch them that way. If you're weird, and if you are, that's fine, no judgment. But you're weird. Now, beyond the movies and the TV shows and the comics, the DC Universe does try and go one step further in offering its fans additional content. Like, for example, its news page, which for some reason is kinda hidden. You would think it'd be front and center, but it's not. There's an encyclopedia, which, if you ask me, has the potential to be the best part of DC Universe. They have pretty much every DC character in this encyclopedia. Now, sure, some of the bios aren't as filled out as others, and for some reason, only the DC Trinity seem to have links to comics and movies about them, but this is a great resource to have if you're reading something and don't know who a character is. Other than, you know, Wikipedia. And then there's the much touted community section, which is probably the worst aspect of the streaming service. Right now, it's basically just a glorified message board. They break it up into subcategories and you can create your own threads, but otherwise it's very bare bones. There's nothing separating it from a fan group on Facebook or a thread on Reddit. They will be posting the DC Daily videos there, so if you want to watch a glorified half-hour ad for DC content, that's the place to go. And lastly, the shop, which does offer a lot of legitimately cool exclusive merchandise, like a complete collection of Justice League animated action figures that you guys can't tell my wife that I bought. Now, if it seems like I'm slagging on DC Universe for a lack of content or for half-baked community features, I honestly don't mean to. All I'm trying to do is let you know that if you were to sign up for this week, you might not be getting the content that you think you'd be getting. I know they're adding more stuff in the future, like original TV shows, but if you were to sign up right this second, this is what you get. This is what they're giving you right out the gate. Not to say you won't find something to read or watch on DC Universe, because like I said, it does have a decent selection of things to enjoy. You know, so long as you don't already own most of this stuff. Like I do. Perhaps I'm being unfair judging something as soon as it comes out. It hasn't had time to grow yet. There is the seed of a good idea in DC Universe. One-stop shopping for all your movies, TV shows, and comics based on DC characters. A place where fans can connect and talk about their favorite movies and TV shows. Hopefully they'll be able to iron everything out by the time Titans is released in October. I am going to be sticking with DC Universe for a while, mostly because I paid for the damn thing, and I do want to make videos about some of the original shows on there. But also too, I honestly believe that this could work. Imagine watching a movie and then immediately reading the comic that inspired the movie, and then going to an encyclopedia page to learn more about a character you didn't previously know anything about, and then immediately going to a comic about that character. All in the same app. That's brilliant to me. If they can keep adding movies and comics at a consistent rate and fix their UI, then this could be the ultimate source for DC everything. Hell, even if they never touch the communities page and just keep adding movies and comics, then they will turn DC Universe into everything the fans want. So long as they don't take things off the service, because there really should be no reason for it. So, is the DC Universe worth getting? To be honest, I think we should revisit that question in October when Titans comes out. Until then, let me know down below or anywhere on the internet what you think of the DC Universe streaming service. Are you enjoying it? Did you even get it? Do you think it should have more content than it currently does? I won't be making videos on every single original show that they release for DC Universe. I think that's insane. I will be doing one on Titans when that comes out. I feel like that's the biggest, the most important, and definitely Young Justice whenever that comes back. Of course, don't forget Wulff Den Apparel, and don't forget we have new videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Wulff Den Live. So subscribe to see all of that, like this video, and share it with a friend who's thinking about subscribing to DC Universe and wants to know exactly what they're getting. Hopefully, I was very thorough in describing what to expect with this new streaming service. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.